There, Red Fraser here. Today I want to talk about who's your best buyer, who's your best customer, your best client, and let's get into it. Okay. Really hone your efforts, rather than, some people I ask, so who are you targeting? And they go, well, everybody. Well, that's not very helpful. But what is helpful is when you start to really think through what are the characteristics, not just the demographics, but the psychographics, the characteristics, the values of the people that you really want to target. Who are the right clients for you? Who are the right customers for you? And so let's get into that and let's give you a few different ways to look at this so you start to really uncover who you want to get to. Because when you do that, you know who your target is, so then you can really set up clear messaging. In addition to that, when you know what your best payday is, the product or service that you sell that makes you the most profit, is the easiest to sell, is the most sustainable, is the one that you really enjoy, the one that energizes you. And let's say, for instance, if you're a professional service or you're a coach or a consultant, that your best payday is group coaching or consulting. And your best price, if you really understand consultative selling, relational selling, where you're doing more discovery and really great scoping, and understand that a sales process is a series of conversations to help somebody to buy, to help someone make the decisions that they need to make to buy what is most appropriate for them. The beauty of that is if you do it well and you really uncover what their key problem is and what that's costing them, and really build the value in the mind of your customer or your client, then you'll get into that elusive thing called value pricing, where there's a fair exchange of value, where the amount that you ask is really proportional to what they're going to get. And so then matching that to your best buyer really starts to bring together a very strong formula for success. And so let's start to look at it. If you could only get paid after the client got the results you promised, what relevant characteristics would they have to have in order for you to take them on? Because here's the thing, you only want to take on people you can actually help. And so, for instance, in our case, we're looking for someone who has a successful business, has an established business. They have forward momentum and they have deployable assets. And what I mean by deployable assets is sales and marketing assets, team assets. And so when you've got a critical mass and you've got forward momentum and you've been marketing and selling and advertising over a period of time and you've got customers, you've got clients coming in the door, then we've got something that we can really leverage and really work with. And that's what we're after here. And so what would be the characteristics that you need in a client or a customer to take them on? Now, obviously, there's different types of service-based businesses. And so put the slant on it that is most appropriate for you. But at the end of the day, what we're looking at is what are the three primary characteristics that you need to see in a client or customer that you would want to work with them, that they're a right fit. So in the past, I've had people in, say, the design and construct industry or architecture, or construction, where they would, in their industry, they would really go after projects. Whereas the most successful businesses that I've worked with in that sort of space go after the clients long term. And so, looking at from different angles is really important, but also knowing what these characteristics are will be really helpful for you. And then we want to look at what are the matching mindsets that you would share. And so, again, what are the three mindsets? So to give you a bit of an idea, what we look for is an abundance mentality, that they love learning, that they're coachable, that they're someone you can really work with and partner with, that they love direct response. So direct response marketing is, you experiment, you measure everything, you work out what's working and what's not, so that you know from your marketing that the results you're getting is based on science. It's not just guesswork. And so then you can drop the things that are not working, focus more on the things that are working really, really well. And that they love simplicity. Simplify the complexity, to prioritize things. It makes life a lot easier when you have someone who wants to simplify things with you rather than make them more complex. And it's so easy for us to make things complex, particularly when you have a growing business, when you're scaling your business. It's a paradox in a sense that the more you grow, the more complex it gets, the more you need to simplify and the more you need to prioritize. I also like to look at, do they have a values match with your business? Now, I don't know whether you've worked out what your values are in your business. It's a really important exercise to go through to identify what are those behaviors, if you put a name to them, that truly identify who you are and how you operate internally and externally in the market. And people can look at anyone in your business and they can see those behaviors in action. And so in our business, our highest value is world-class learning. And so that really means we go out and learn from the best of the best. We seek the best knowledge and information and practical application that we can find. And when we work with someone who loves learning, we know we're on the right track. The second thing is connection. When we see that there is a genuine two-way connection where we're going to be partnering together to help you get where you need to go, and you care as much about us as we care about you, then it's a recipe for success. And then finally, drive, what we call natural drive. My partner Ellen and I, we both have natural drive. We don't wait around for things. We get out and we work out how to do stuff. And if we don't know how, we always ask the question, but how could we? And so, are you somebody like that as well? So work out what your values are, and then you can start to look at people that want to become a client or a customer of yours and whether there's potentially a right fit there as well. And then finally, I also like to look at a couple of other criteria, if you like. Are you someone else who really wants to be different? Because let's face it, if you want to stand out from the crowd in your business, in your industry, then you need to be different. Can't be unique. That's not possible anymore, but you can certainly be different. And being different could be as simple as being truly relational, not transactional in the way you do business. Even in a transactional business, I highly recommend that you're relational, that you really work with people and connect with them. And be values driven. And that really comes back to not just the values of the business, but also having a team that really lives those values, and being purpose driven as well. But particularly individually for you, the business owner, to be someone that is values driven, that you really know what your own values are and what truly drives you, what's important to you and what you love. It really makes a big difference. And then finally, to be strategic. We're looking for people who want to be different. They want their business to be different. They are values driven. They value themselves and value people. They value their team. They value their customers, their clients, their suppliers. And they know it's so important to be strategic for you as the business owner to lift out of the day-to-day operations so that you can do good strategic thinking, good strategic planning, and great execution and implementation. And that means working less hours, getting your life back, being at your best to really drive the business forward. So they're the sort of things that we look at. And these might be some really useful filters for you to help you start to look at, well, what are the things that you want to look at to make sure that you're taking on a client or a customer that is a right fit for you. It will also help you with your messaging, which is the next thing we're going to work on. So I hope that's been helpful. Again, if you need some help, just put your hand up, let me know, and we'd be happy to help. Hope you have a great day. Thanks very much.